what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here, and welcome to Season 2 of my Sheffield United career mode on FIFA 19. And I do apologize right off the bat, my voice still is not 100%, but I figure, you know what, I am not waiting anymore. My voice is a lot better than what it was, and I want to go ahead and record at least a couple episodes of this Season 2 because I want to keep not only this career mode, but my Rayo Zaragoza career mode going at a reasonable pace. So, as far as this video, I'm not going to have any gameplay. My Premier League debut against Huddersfield is going to have to wait to the next video. But this video is just going to be a talky bit because I'm mainly going to be talking about transfers that I made and also objectives that I've made. But first thing I want to talk about, which this game coming up against Huddersfield. And I do owe you guys an apology because I'm not sure how many of you remember the last video that I did with Sheffield United, but I had said that Huddersfield got relegated alongside Brighton and Cardiff, which as you can see is not true because if I would have paid attention, I would have seen that there was only 37 games played instead of 38. Bournemouth was 2 points ahead of Huddersfield, which meant that Huddersfield not only needed to win, but Bournemouth needed to draw or lose, and that's exactly what happened. And Bournemouth ended up being the ones that ended up getting relegated. But as you can see here, not only did I come up, but Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest, which was the team that gave me my only loss last season. So it's pretty awesome that I'll get to play against them in the Premier League this season, which I will feature at least one game against Nottingham Forest. I'm not sure if it's going to be a home game or an away game, but yeah, I will be playing against Nottingham Forest this season. And I do want to show something that's rather... Oh, crap. I clicked the wrong thing. And going to League One, you remember last year, Preston, QPR, and Bolton went down. And, as you can see there, oh, they drew their first game. They didn't even win their first game, but Sunderland is still in League One, and as a Newcastle fan, that makes me extremely happy. And, funny thing is that at around the 34 game mark, they had a 12-point lead over the third-place team for automatic promotion. And somehow they managed to bottle it, and they managed to stay in League One, so... yeah, I find that kind of amusing, but anyway, getting back to on point. This is going to be, which I know there's going to be some things here that's going to make you scratch your head, but for this particular opening transfer window, I mainly, which I'm not done with the transfer window business yet, I still got a few more moves to make, which I'll talk about soon. But I mainly wanted to get some more center backs. As you can see, one of them is actually going to be my starting defensive midfielder for the Huddersfield game. And that is Fabian Schär, which I did swap a free agent for. But, yeah, he's not going to be my starting CDM. That's actually going to be Philip Billing. Although, I am not happy with Billing only being a 75. But I am going to be training him up so. But, yeah, not only did I sign Fabian Schär, but I also, as you see there, I got Jamal Lascelles, which those of you that watch my Veracruz career mode knows that he actually went to Tigres in that career mode. And I honestly feel that Lascelles is one of the most underrated center backs in the game. I absolutely love the guy to bits. I'm not just saying that because he plays for Newcastle United, but he ends up growing pretty fast in this game. As a matter of fact, one of my career modes, I'm on Season 4, and he's already up to around an 86, 87. So, yeah, he grows like a weed. But I actually have another transfer that, as a matter of fact, I'm in the middle of a contract negotiation with. And that is Martin Hinteregger, who's a 78 rated center back from Augsburg. And hopefully I'll be getting him in after the Huddersfield game. But besides center backs... other areas I want to concentrate on is I want a backup center attacking mid, and I also want a backup right midfielder. And I gotta be honest with you, Calvin Stengs is on a short leash with me, which I'll show pretty soon, but I played, excuse me, the preseason tournament with this team in order to get more revenue in, and I played with Calvin Stengs, and he's possibly the most inconsistent winger I've ever played with. And with me being in Premier League, that's just not going to cut it. So I am actually going to give him until the January transfer window to shape up, or I'm going to end up selling him. So, but yeah, another thing I want to talk about, which I'm actually going to show off here. Excuse me. See, is it this? Oh, I did get manager the a manager award, which is weird considering the Premier League didn't start yet, but I got manager of the month. But let's see. Oh, here it is. I was looking for my starting budget. Yeah, my starting transfer budget is 12 million with a wage budget of 60,000, and which I'll get to objectives later, which I will say that they're pretty lofty. But how do they expect me to compete in the Premier League with only $12 million? So that's why I played the preseason tournament. And after a few sales, which I cleaned out a whole bunch of deadwood, and along with the preseason tournament money, I ended up getting as much as 43 million, almost 44 million, with an $81,000 wage budget. So I was able to raise some money there. Now, objectives, which I'll get to. Domestic Cup, they want me to reach the round of 16. And the cup I'm going to be focusing on this season is going to be the FA Cup. I don't really care about Carabao Cup. You really don't get a whole lot of money for that, and it's not really as important, in my opinion, as the FA Cup. So I am going to try to go as deep as I can in the FA Cup. And honestly, if I can get to Wembley, which is a semi-finalist, then I'll be pretty happy. And my league objective will be qualifying for the Europa League, which I think, to be honest with you, my target would have been around mid-table. I would have been satisfied considering the team I have. I mean, it's not a bad team, but I don't think it's a team that's good enough to qualify for Europe. But apparently the board thinks my team is good enough. So, and if I'm going to be going for the Europa League, might as well go for the Champions League. So I'm going to be aiming for at least top 6, but if I get top 4, then I'll be satisfied. Let's see what this is. Yeah, manager award, which you guys have already seen. And one last thing I do want to show off before I end this video and start the next one against Huddersfield, which you can see here, I adjusted my finances to 14,860,000 wage. Which you guys have probably figured out just by seeing that, what my plans are. And that is, I do want to bring in some pre-contract signings, some quality pre-contract signings. Now, I'm not going to get too carried away, which, by carried away, I mean my FIFA 18 Sheffield Wednesday career mode, which I signed 10 pre-contract signings. No, I'm not going to be that carried away, but I do want to sign at least 3 quality players on a pre-contract. So, and hopefully, I don't see how part of that 860,000 is going to be going towards signing some free agents as well, which I'll talk about that maybe in the next video. But show you some of my transfer history. My former backup right back went to Aston Villa. Ched Evans, who was on loan last year, I went to Birmingham City for 700 grand. This one is a bit controversial, but he is 31 years old. He's only got a decline in overall. I did sell Marouane Fellaini to Newcastle for $9 million. Martin Craney, again, sold to Burton. Not again, but I sold another player to Birmingham City, that time for 150 grand. John Fleck, he was actually one of my favorite players last year, but he already reached his potential, and I don't see him improving, especially since I need quality players in the Premier League. So I decided to sell him to Watford for $4 million, which I don't know how much time he's going to get at Watford. But Leon Clark, another player that was on loan last season, I sold him to newly promoted Middlesbrough for 650 grand. And a big chunk of my revenue also came from the sale of Che Adams, which I said at the season finale last year that I would end up selling him, which I did, which thankfully it was not to another Premier League team. I actually sold him to Schalke for 23 million. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. I just wanted to discuss transfers. I want to talk about league objectives, and Also, which I forgot to say, I can't believe I forgot to say this, but Justin Van Leeuwen will indeed be my starting center attacking mid for my team. He's already at a 74 rated. I played him on my during the preseason tournament. He was just absolutely phenomenal. And speaking of preseason tournament, I ended up winning the whole thing, and I ended up beating Schalke, the team that I sold Che Adams to 2-0. And I beat Sampdoria in the semifinals. And you can see I finished on top of the group. Schalke finished second. Fiorentina and Werder Bremen were also in my group. Group B, as you can see, there's Saint Etienne, Sampdoria, Lille, and Mainz was in there. So, but yeah, I wanted to just cover those few things. And next video, I'm going to be starting off the Premier League campaign against Huddersfield. So, but thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.